What's up, everyone? It's Kendall, and I'm back for, I believe it's was it day 8? No, day 9. Day 9 of 100 Days of Codes. 100 Days of Code, can you believe it? So that's what we're aiming for. We're going to be doing, it's a little bit late here. It's now about 11:03. So I've been shipping away to a few different things to sort of solidify my understanding from today. Um, Today has been amazing, challenging, but hey, we're chipping away. We're gonna keep working at it, and we're gonna get there. So we've also been doing 100 days of code, and we're on day 9. So the rules of 100 days of code are: 1, to code 1 hour a day; 2, to keep yourself accountable publicly; 3, to connect with the community of Twitter; and 4, to keep a daily log of your progress, your emotions, and feelings. Today's been a long one, but it's been amazing. It's been our first day back at the School of Codes as well, back in boot camp style. Boot camp is very amazing. It keeps you on your toes, keeps you guessing, and it keeps you learning and stretches you. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the stretching. So today we were going over things called DOMs, right? So the DOMs is, you're not changing the actual like HTML of something, but actually what you're doing is you can alter things. So it's the document object model is what it stands for. So basically we use the JavaScript to manipulate the DOM, or what's displayed, right, what you can see. So the HTML is sort of the skeleton or the blueprint. Um, so basically the console is, if you go to like your DOM in Google Chrome, you've got a console as an inbuilt object in JavaScript, like log, table, lots of methods that help you develop. So if you check out the JavaScript DOM, you can check out the W3 Schools webpage, which I've been checking out. You can use DevTools to actually manipulate the DOM. So when you go into DevTools and you're looking like a website, you can actually use console in there to actually change what's on the website. So you can see, so you can change colors, you can change the text, you can change the images, you can change different things on there. And it doesn't change the HTML file, but it changes the DOM. It changes what you can see, right? So if I want to access, for example, a document object, I put in documents, and then JavaScript is going to say, I know what that is. For example, if I'm wanting to, we were learning today about sort of accessing the DOM, right? And the way I would do that in JavaScript, so if I wanted to access, say, what I could see on the page, then for example, I would do documents, and that's sort of the document that is accessing. So we call it the DOM, the document object model. So when you're accessing that, you first got to put in the JavaScript, you got to put document and then dots, and then maybe, let's say you need a section of the HTML, you go query selector, and you put brackets, and then you'd put open quotes, and you might say, for example, H1, and close quotes. And that would then take you directly to the section of H1, take you to the H1 section, right? But you could also, you can do different things like that. So we learned about the DOM. We learned about sort of a way that you could select classes. So much like CSS, which we looked at before, you could choose, for example, a section like H1. You could choose it by H, just putting quote unquote H1. You could do dot something for, so for example, dot item for a class, just like in CSS. So you do document dot query selector all bracket quote unquote dot item, get all, and lots of cool stuff like that. We did different exercises today as well, where actually we would basically assign a button. When you clicked on it, it would say on click, and you would assign a function. So in the JavaScript, you create a function to say, when you click on that button, something happens, right? So what it allows you to do is you can then connect the HTML to the JavaScript. And then when the button is clicked, then something happens. The function operates. The function says, this is what I'm going to do. So, for example, it might say, I know that when you click this button, that I'm then going to put something on the screen, right? I'm gonna change what they call the inner HTML. So that's what you see on the page. It's gonna change it automatically. So if I put a number in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an input box, and I click the button, then I'm letting the HTML know that I see on the page that I'm gonna change you. And I do that by sort of doing the documents. So I'm accessing the DOM, I'm accessing the HTML documents. I'm going in and accessing like a particular part of that, right? So I'll be selecting the H1, for example, and then maybe I'm changing that. So then it changes to whatever I want it to be, right? And that's the inner text. So it's really, really cool, the stuff we learned today. Still kind of boggling my mind. Still really gonna give you some challenges, but I like a good challenge. We did things like, for example, that we had to add an event listener, so it would like listen out for a click, and then it would operate in a function. So lots of things like that, where basically we would take, if we clicked a certain button, then flowers would show up in the title of the page would change from what it was to emojis that were flowers. There was lots of stuff like that. So yeah, we had an amazing lecture from Liz Kay. She always does an amazing job of explaining things. Today I got put on the spots and I drew a few blanks. But do you know what? It's all part of the journey, right? I mean, hey, I didn't get much sleep last night. Babies were up during the night. What are you going to do? I got 2 children. So you make the best of it. You just say, well, today, a little bit tougher than usual, but hey, you know what? We pick ourselves back up again and we do it again. And, one of the things that really came true again is sort of making sure to break the problem down, right? I'm really forcing myself to get into the habit of breaking down the problem, right? So whatever I'm seeing here in the READMEs that we get from School of Codes, to break down every single problem into really many problems, and then break it down again and break it down as much as possible. So one of the things that Dr. Chris talked about is sort of making sure you break it down, and then when you start breaking things down, then you can Google them, right? They make sense, and you'll break it down so much where it's just going to be logical what happens, and put it into English, right? I'm trying to remind myself to do that, not just get straight into the coding again, right? I have to keep reminding myself, keep smacking myself, keep telling myself, right? It was really cool. We got new partners today as well. We got a cool guy called Tom. He's from Birmingham. He's amazing, and he's making my life amazing and fun and joyful. So I'm excited to be working with him this week. He's a good kid, so we're going to be along well, and we're going to be working through all these problems and issues and challenges, and hopefully we're going to be seeing lots of light bulbs come on and lots of amazing moments of brilliance. So that is today, day 9 of 100 Days of Codes. Anyways, guys, feeling sleepy, been working hard today, but I want to keep track of where we were today. We talked about DOMs, we talked about sort of query selectors and all sorts of good stuff. But until tomorrow, catch you later, keep coding strong, and let's keep at it. All right, guys, much love. See you later. Take care.